Yogi Bhajan used to teach at a women's camp which he started each summer. It's called Khalsa Women's Training Camp. And we all sent our wives for 8 weeks, 2 months, to New Mexico while we husbands stayed home. And during that time, if there were children old enough to be out of diapers, those children stayed home with us, and the men cared for the children, and the women got to be with the other women. I remember, getting together with the other men and saying, wow, it's hard to part with your wife for 2 months. I mean, we were young. 2 months is a long time. But when she got off that plane and came home, she was so full of energy and so full of happiness and radiance, and I was so grateful to have her back that I just wanted to touch her feet. And I remember Yogi Ji saying, this is divorce insurance. If you send your wife to women's camp and let her be with the other women, that will be divorce insurance. Well, now it's 43 years since we were married, and we are still happily married, so I guess it worked. He taught many things at those camps because although the women would be with each other during the day, in the evening he would lecture each evening. And in the 1980s, one night he taught a class on the 7 steps to happiness. So perhaps, since you are asking 7 steps to happiness, you heard that class. He talked about the process that a human goes through to be truly happy in the core of their being. Because everybody's happy sometimes, right? You can be happy one day, be sad the next day. You can be happy you won the lottery. You can be sad you got fired from your job. You can be happy someone has arrived. You can be sad someone leaves. Happy and sad is a normal way of life. But he was talking about something else. He was talking about a core of happiness that blossoms inside you and is there through everything. It's an inner happiness. And yes, it's an inner process you go through. Happiness begins with commitment. Commitment. Because if you cannot commit to something greater than yourself, you can't even set foot on this step of happiness. So what is it that you commit to? You commit to being a better Sikh? You commit to being a better Christian? You commit to living a righteous life? No. You commit to a certain way of behavior within yourself. What you commit to is you commit to being a kind person. That in each situation you are kind, you are compassionate. You keep your heart open. So if you have made that commitment to yourself, then you watch your words and how you speak. You watch your actions. And you make sure that when you act, you're acting with kindness and you're acting with compassion. Now, being kind doesn't mean being nice, oh, that's very nice, we're being very nice, everything is very nice. No. Kindness means that you do the thing that must be done with love in your heart. Sometimes it hurts. Sometimes you have to tell the truth when someone doesn't want to hear the truth. Sometimes that's the kindest thing that can be done. So first you make a commitment within yourself to act as a kind and compassionate person. When you begin to do this, and you stand by your own commitment to yourself, then people begin to know you by your character. And the next step of happiness is that your character becomes solid within yourself. You stand before your own character, and other people know you by your character. They know that you are a kind person. They know that you are a compassionate person. They know that you are a truthful person. They know that you are a righteous person. And they know that they can trust you. That's called character. When you confirm yourself in your own character and your character becomes your projection, that gives you dignity. Dignity is a priceless thing. Dignity is when you understand that God acts through you. And you act with that sense of sacredness. And then the Guru will give you an opportunity to act as the hand of God in the moment for another human being. And when in that dignity you perform that function very selflessly and you become God for another human, then you have the experience of your own dignity. And in that action you become divine. And the fourth step on the path to happiness is divinity. Divinity means that you recognize the divine within yourself and that you act knowing that your actions are the actions of the divine. When you are divine, then you put yourself on the line for another person. You don't hold back. When you live in that divinity, it gives you grace. So these three, dignity, divinity, and grace, spring from commitment. Grace is when you can maintain your grace in the face of any disgrace. Anything that comes to you, things may be very ungraceful, things may be very heavy, things may be very confrontive, but in any situation, you hold your grace. In order to do that, you have to have sadhana. Because without sadhana, you cannot anchor yourself. Without anchoring yourself, you cannot hold your grace. You have to have that solid, steady center within yourself to hold your grace in any place, under any situation. When you go through this process, you gain a very special power. And that power is the power to sacrifice. And the power to sacrifice comes because you are not busy worrying about yourself or thinking about what you need or what you want or what you want to have. The power to sacrifice comes when you live in your heart and God presides in your heart and presides over your head. You know, Guru says that the heart is the sun and the head, the mind is the moon. So when you feel the presence of Vaheguru in your own heart and you constantly connect to that with each beat of your heart, then your intellect doesn't go off spinning this and that and telling stories. That light from your heart constantly shines in your mind. When you can live in that state of consciousness, then you automatically have the power to sacrifice. How do you think Guru Arjan sat on the hot plate? You think he was thinking about, oh, what are they going to do next and what's happening next and what's happening at home? And no. He sat in the light of God and filled himself with the light of Vaheguru. And his mind became cool and calm. And in that state, it was a very conscious state of complete detachment. And that's the power of sacrifice. When in the moment a sacrifice is required, you make that sacrifice. That's how the Panch Pyaras gave their heads. It's only a moment. And in that moment a sacrifice is required. And in that moment, you rise to the occasion and you make the sacrifice that's required. And if you can go through these 6 steps, then you reach the 7th step. And the 7th step is that core of happiness within yourself that no one can take away from you. No situation can take it away. No person can take it away. No action can take it away. And that happiness blossoms inside you and you feel thankful. You feel thankful at each moment for all the blessings that you have gone through. You feel thankful for your commitment. You feel thankful for your character. You feel thankful for your dignity, for your divinity, for your grace, and for your power to sacrifice. And you feel happy that you have been given the blessing to serve. And in that state of gratitude, in that state of joy, your happiness becomes anchored and goes everywhere with you. It's in your breath, it's in your actions, it's in your words. It belongs to you forever.
If you like this video, click the like button.
And if you want to see more videos like this, subscribe.